Hello, everyone. Dun, dun. All right. How is everybody doing? Okay, so we are potentially a little bit waiting for a couple of people, but I am not going to delay because we have already. I am sorry you're having a day, Katie. I'm already kept you guys waiting a little bit longer than I would have liked. I didn't get home until like 6:40, so it was gobble up my supper and jump onto the computer here. So tonight we're going to be talking about blurbs. We're going to be talking about why we need them and how to put them together so that they are geared to sell. Your blurb is, of course, your prime means of educating your readers on what your story is about. Yay, awesome. So yeah, so what we're going to do is I thought it would be really easy. Well, not easy, but it would be easier to actually go through a particular blurb and break it down into bits and pieces so that we can actually see where everything goes, what fits where, what doesn't belong, and then put it back together and see what the difference is. So and then, so yeah, so if I do have a blurb that I can put up, if you would like to put a blurb up yourself, I will share screen, and you are welcome to share your screen with, bring your blurb up and share screen, and then we can discuss. Blurbs are different than a synopsis in that you literally have less than 300 words to convey who your character is, what their conflict is, what their goal is, and what the price of failure is within that. Kelly is happy to share, so I'm going to Kel. They don't have to be. They can actually be fun. And here's the thing: when you're working on your blurb, you can actually create your ad copy while you're working on your blurb as well. So it is we do have screen share. So Kel, if you want to bring up one of your blurbs and then we can kind of go over it, that would be fantastic.
Okay, I'm muted. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, I can.
Cool. I was looking. That's not it. That's not the one I want to look at either. Sorry. So I have had a lot of problems with this one. And in fact, my big issue is when I ask somebody if they can help me, everyone assumes that Lucy and Scott have been together in the past, but they haven't. So I put a post up in another group and just said, oh, you know, what are some suggestions for blurbs, you know, what do you include, what do you not include, blah, blah. Some things I think I got a couple of things I understood really well, but then other things, there was one person goes, oh, I can help you with that. So she went off and she had a look at it. And then she says, she came up with a new one. And I'm like, oh, okay. It still was the same thing. So for whatever reason, people must think when they read it that Scott and Lucy were old sweethearts, but they're not. They've met later in life.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Okay.
I don't know what I'm doing.
All right. Can you take this and copy and paste it onto a Word document or a Google Doc?
I can do a Word doc. That one, obviously. Alrighty, how's that? Let's just take that off. Oops.
Okay.
Hence the deja vu bit down the bottom. So anyway.
Okay, so we're not going to look at spelling first and foremost. So I want you to change the color of your text font. Like it's black. No, so that when you're typing, your words show up in a different color, because I don't have access to your document.
Yeah. Is there an editing mode in this? Does anyone know?
I'm not sure. You're
Track
using a
changes.
Mac, aren't you?
Yeah,
Yes.
no, I think I got it.
Okay.
Track changes.
There you go. Perfect. Perfect. Your track changes are perfect. Okay. So here's let's break this down. So who are your main characters?
Scott Henderson and Lucy Stevens.
Okay.
I just realized I didn't have her last name in there.
Exactly. So that's important. Okay. So when we're looking at blurbs, we want to cut out all of the unnecessary backstory. We want a blurb to be focused on immediacy. So let's go up to your tagline here. He's a confirmed bachelor, content with the status quo. She's a rural cop who doesn't need distractions. How does a chance meeting bring them a second chance at love? Let's take a look at that. Let's break that down to begin with, and then we'll work on the rest. Okay, that's an awful lot of
information.
A tagline, which is exactly what you're trying to do there. You're trying to use a tagline, is something that is going to be shorter. It is, or at least one sentence, and it is going to literally be the punch in the gut. So you could say something. No, wait, before you don't take anything out. So what in your first sentence, what is the most important detail?
That he's a bachelor.
Exactly. So he's a confirmed bachelor. All right. So highlight that.
Oh, you mean actually? Okay. Give me a second.
No, you're good. Okay.
Like that?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, I just found something.
Second sentence. Your second sentence.
She doesn't need distractions.
Is that are you saying that's your absolute most important detail in that sentence?
She's a rural cop.
So we want to focus on hang on a second. The details. We want to focus on the important details. So she's a rural cop. He's a confirmed bachelor. She is her mindset similar to his? Is she focused more on her career rather than on a relationship?
Yes.
Okay.
So both of them are widows. So both have been married, and both have become widows. And that was a long time ago in the grand scheme of things. And so he's threw himself into his career, and she's threw herself into a career, and they end up at a point. And anyway.
No, that's the thing. That's it. That's fine. Lovely. Okay. Give me 2 seconds. I have a problem I have to deal with the cat. I will be right back. So focus on the second sentence. I want you to highlight the most important detail in that second sentence, and I'll be right back.
I think you're on mute.
Yep, I am.
There you
Okay.
go.
So now we have two important details about them. Your second chance meeting, bring them a second chance of love. That's an easy fix. That's an easy, quick. A chance meeting brings two career-driven lovers a second chance at love, or something along those lines. Oh. Hi.
Like that?
No, you can a second chance at love is fine.
Yeah. Okay. I thought there was too many chances in the one sentence. Oh gosh. Typing's off.
But yeah, but you're gonna finish tweaking this. Okay, so a second chance at love is giving away your trope right there. That's gonna smack your reader right in the face. Okay, so instead of a chance meeting, you could let me just, I'm gonna go over to Word Hippo. Let's go to Word Hippo and take a look and see what is another word for chance. That would be okay, so chance meeting. I mean, there's different ways that you can do it, because your second chance is your trope. So you could even go
Okay.
an unexpected meeting brings to career-driven people a second chance at love, or something along those lines. And take out how to. So when you're looking at blurbs, one of the things that I have learned, now I've taken, I went through and I did InkersCon, and I did Mal Cooper's blurb writing course, and I'm doing MiniCon, and there's another blurb writing course, and both of them have really, really good things. And one thing that I'm learning is that in both of them, your tagline is not a question. It is a statement.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize. Okay.
No, that's okay.
That
that is completely fine. So there you go. So that is right there. An unexpected meeting brings two career-driven people a second chance at love. That has a more punch than the previous sentence.
Yeah, definitely does.
Okay. So let's break down your 3 paragraphs. First paragraph. Okay, let's take a look at this. Billionaire Scott Henderson mourned the loss of his wife, accepting her decision to end their marriage. When he's unexpectedly called back to his hometown, it's with shock he discovers he never knew his childhood sweetheart after all. Meeting a local officer, though she seems sincere with her offers of help, he's wary of the way she makes his heart stir. Okay, so in this paragraph, I can tell you, you've already lost me several times over. So first and foremost, Scott's a widower, right? Yep. Okay, so he's a billionaire. So, but here's the thing. And just hear me out. I mean, you don't have to, you don't change anything, but I'm just going to kind of give you a line here.
So there's also a secret child, but every time I tried to put it in, everyone I showed it to said, that's adding too much information. And I'm like, oh, okay.
No. You want to keep as much information in there as you possibly can, but you don't. You want to give them enough to hook them, but you don't want to bog them down. Your first paragraph is good. I mean, grammatically, structurally, it's fine. The problem is that
the information's not right.
It's a ton of backstory, and that's that it muddies the waters. You want to write with immediacy. So instead of saying, billionaire Scott Henderson mourned the loss of his wife, accepting her decision to end their marriage, you could say unexpectedly called back to his hometown, billionaire Scott Henderson is blindsided to learn that he never knew his late childhood sweetheart after all. Now, if you look at it, the difference in the sentence there, in the information, there's more immediacy. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I'm just gonna.
No, you're good to go.
Just so I can take some other stuff out.
Or, I mean, you could even say, I'm just gonna write it into the chat here very quickly, just so I can formulate my thoughts here. How recently was he widowed?
Like 15 years.
Okay.
Oh, no, okay. No. So hold on. I'm just thinking of the timeline. So 15 years ago, she left him, and it was because she wanted children and he didn't right now. And so she got pregnant and they had another big fight. This all happens before the story actually starts.
Okay.
So he comes home and she's left him, and she goes, but in that there's little things that sort of tell you, okay, she's been sick and they've had fights before and she's left. So, okay. And then 2 years later, she dies.
Okay. So
I'm so terrible at this.
No. So when she dies, are they still legally married or not?
Yes, they're still legally married.
Okay. So what if you were to say something like, whatever, Scott. Or something like that, and I just put it into the chat there, and that you can look now. I mean, you can change out widower for billionaire, that sort of thing, but you want to hint. Now, what are the secrets?
that she had a child and she didn't tell him. And her parents, so her dad didn't want them to get married. So when she dies, her parents raised the child in the same hometown, like where his family are, but no one actually connects the dots until she's older. So she's like 15. And that's how he and Lucy meet. She's found her birth certificate because she's, in Australia, we get our license at 16. So she's sort of getting everything ready so she can do that. And she realizes that because her grandfather told her, I don't know who your dad is. Your mum never said.
Okay. Which is, again, it's backstory. We don't need to know those details. That you know the details is incredibly important, but we don't need to know them. So he returns home for whatever reason. Oh, you know what? Hang on a second here. Billionaire Scott Henderson returns to his hometown and runs into the living proof of his wife's silence, or of his late wife's silence. Okay, which gives you kind of, it kind of gives you a hint of what those secrets are, but it doesn't tell you exactly. You want to kind of make the reader go, ooh, what is she talking about? Okay, and then, so the second sentence in here, meeting a local officer, though she seems sincere with her offers of help, he's wary of the way she makes his heart stir.
Originally, I never had that in there, and I've struggled so much with writing this freaking blurb that somebody says, oh, you need to have this, and I'm like, it kind of doesn't make any sense, but okay.
No. His wife's silence. He finds himself embroiled in realities and in need of assistance. Could be your second sentence. This gives you a glimpse. Now, and of course, you can totally take what I'm giving you and tweak it and rewrite it to how you want, but you want to give it so that you're giving in just enough to communicate what the story is about, but you're also wanted to make sure that you're holding something back enough that they're going to question, well, what? Okay, so he gets there, his late wife did something, and now he's got legal problems. Ooh, what's going on? So that introduces our hero. It gives us a glimpse into who he is. He's a billionaire, and he was married at one point. By his late wife, we now know that he is a widower. We know that he lost his wife. We don't know the circumstances, but we don't need to know the circumstances. We just need to know that he's a widower, he's a billionaire, and he's gone home, and now he's got himself into a pickle. Okay, so then we want to meet your heroine. Your heroine is going to be incredibly important. This is who you are going to, this is the yin to his yang, so to speak. So we need to introduce Lucy in a way that your readers are going to go, I get it. Oh, this poor woman. So she instead of saying has experienced her own share of heartache and loss, you could say something along the lines of Lucy Stevens, a rural cop, she's after the loss of her husband, she threw herself into her career. you're kind of telling, but there's a way to we can play around with it a little bit more to give a little bit more depth and a little bit more oomph to it. But you want to
Oh,
make
God.
sure. Tell me if I'm going too fast.
No, hold on. So
No. Oh, so by family, do you mean that she had a child with her husband, or was it just her?
yes.
Okay. Um, I would take out the word own. After the loss of her family,
Yeah, that
Lucy
makes sense.
Stevens throws her, throws herself into her career. You want to make sure that throughout your blurb, you're using the same tense. So if you start in past tense, you want to keep it in past tense. You don't want to go from past tense to present tense, back to past tense. You don't want to bounce around. You want to keep it in one tense.
So, because she's a police officer, so would it be like, I don't need to say it, just the throwing herself into a career, because she chooses a career.
So
She's going to have one prior to that.
Why did she choose law enforcement?
Because she can help others and prevent what happened to her.
So what happened to her family? Were they killed in an accident? Were they murdered? Were they?
So she grew up in foster care, and she was sparkled by her husband, and he was a vicious person, and he caused a car accident that killed their child.
Okay, so it wasn't like it wasn't all hearts and flowers and love and
No.
Okay,
no,
so it was a very I'm going to say it was a bad marriage.
very toxic. Yeah.
Okay, so what about if you do something along those lines of I'm just trying to formulate my thoughts here. I think it's very important that we have an idea. The accident that killed her child, did it also kill her husband?
No, but
So
it put her in hospital for a while.
Okay, so when did her husband die?
He died probably 5 or so years later. I don't really go into that, but he dies in jail.
Okay. Um,
And he says, like, you're writing a story, because I have a basic understanding of what's going to happen in my story, but then my characters still go, we're going to do this instead.
All right. Can you go down? I want you to go down to the bottom of the page below your blurb there, and I want you to make some notes. I want you to make notes on her past and his past. I will be right back. I just have to grab something. I'll be right back.
Okay. Excuse me.
All right. Okay, so we want to understand who your characters are, because understanding who your characters are is actually going to help you build your blurb in a way that it's going to communicate clearly that you are that you know who they are. So while we are not going to use, I'd say probably 99% of that, it's really important that we know these details. It's backstory. It's not going to go in the blurb, but it's very important to know. All right, so let's see here.
Okay.
No, you're good. Sorry, sometimes it's just easier for me to type it out than I can kind of formulate my thoughts.
Yeah.
Mhm. If you hear any loud bangs, please forgive them. It's ice falling off of our roof. We had a blizzard here the other day.
Oh my gosh.
Lots of fun. Lots of fun. Okay, so where is this? What is the name of this town?
Crookwell.
Okay.
I will. Oh gosh. It's an actual town.
Okay.
It's where I live. I was really lazy and didn't want to create a fictitious one, so I was like, oh, I'll just set it where I live.
No. Was her late husband wealthy?
Very, very wealthy.
Oh.
Very wealthy. So one of the things that's happened, Sam says she inherits everything, and that happens later in the book. His lawyers have been chasing her for years since he died because they want to give it to her. And she's like, I don't care what he, I don't know why you're chasing me, but I don't want to know. I don't want to know anything. And finally it all comes out.
Okay.
And she realizes that she's not as poor as she thought she once was.
Beautiful. I love it. Okay, so to do that, so what I've done here is I just put in here, and of course, again, these are suggestions. You can take them, reword them to fit yourself. You don't want to use filler words. You want to keep the sense of immediacy. So for example, where we go to Lucy Stevens turned to law enforcement after the tragic death of her daughter at the hands of her late husband. Meeting Scott puts her hackles up. She can see the shadows of her late husband in him. This gives conflict.
Yeah, well, in their first meeting, so the daughter, and I know there's none of this is going in here, but it kind of explains some things. In their first meeting, his daughter has rung him. That's how he finds out he's got a child. And she's like, well, I'm going to come and live with you now. Like, I know you exist. Like, we can do a DNA test. And he's like, no. And she looks a spitting image of his sister. So he's like blown away. He's not going to come and see her till the next day. And then he decides at the last minute, I'm going to drive home. And so she goes, so she doesn't know this. So she's then gone and organized herself a lift. Like, so she's hitchhiking. And so something happens with the guy that's giving her a lift, and Lucy comes along and rescues her. So then she ends up at the police station in Goulburn. And so Lucy then rings him, and Lucy thinks he's quite rude and arrogant. So then when he turns up at the police station and meets Alicia, that's his daughter, for the first time, Lucy's like, well, this is not like there's sort of a bit of, not quite right to her. She doesn't think it's quite right.
Mm-hmm.
And she sort of questions him, and she's like, are you really her dad? And he's like, yes, I am, so.
Okay. So that ties in. And I'm just going to go back through. I'm just going to reread what I've got here. Um, uh, so instead of putting his hometown, I would put the name of the town in that they're going back to, so that we have a specific place. I mean, you could say billionaire Scott Henderson returns to his hometown Kirkwell, and runs into the living proof of his late wife's silence. He finds himself embroiled in legalities and in need of assistance. Right, that's your first intro, right? And then you've got Lucy C. Stevens turn to law enforcement after the tragic death of her daughter at the hands of her late husband. Meeting Scott puts her hackles up. She can see the shadows of her late husband in the rich man standing in her precinct, which ties us into that. And then we, in the third paragraph is where we up the stakes, right? It's like the third paragraph is, forced to work together. They fight their mutual attraction, so that because and then you can also in your third paragraph you can reveal what the not the catalyst but the consequence of failure. So if the consequence of Lucy being attracted to him, if the consequence for their involvement is, and I know it's not, but for the sake of example here, if we were to say, if their consequence of their relationship is that Scott could potentially, he stands to lose not only his developing relationship with his daughter, but his chance, the chance at finding love again, that gives us the darkest point, the darkest day of the story, right? Which really it kind of draws it in, and that's what's going to give the reader that oomph, that punch in the gut, right? That punch in the heart. I'm not sure what Scott's financial thank you is.
So his business is construction, and Lucy has scrimped and saved and bought herself a very rundown farmhouse, and she's living in a caravan with a dog, and she's finally saved up enough to start doing renovations. And of course it's winter and it snows here. So anyway, Scott's like, well, as a thank you, I can fix some of these problems for Lucy. He's like, well, I can organize her to have the best people come and work on her house for her. And sort of she doesn't really fight him on it in a sense, because she thinks she's still going to be paying for it. She just thinks he's doing a favor in it's not a retrospect, but he's just helping her out.
Okay.
And so she's still.
So in her mind, he's dropping all of it. Well, again, now he's a rich man, right? He's got all of this wealth. In his mind, he's helping her out. They're in this relationship, so he's helping her out. In her mind, now she's not faced with she's not thinking, oh, this is my new boyfriend, he's helping me out, oh, this is so sweet. She's back into that mindset of, oh my God, I have another rich man who's throwing money at me, and it's just going to turn into like the same thing as it was with my past, with the husband, and I'm going to be back under his thumb, and he's going to try and control me, and he's so use that. You want to use the fact that she has been traumatized by this toxic relationship with her ex or her late husband, who's very wealthy, who's very privileged, and ultimately is solely responsible for the death of their child. And their relationship probably was not a very good one. I would imagine that there would be gaslighting, there would be maybe emotional and mental abuse. So when you wrap that into this package and you use that trauma for her, the thing is in her mind, he's not helping her. He's trying to buy her. He's stirring up the pot on old memories and old emotions and old ideas and things that she has tried so hard to bury, that if they see the light of day, they are going to destroy her, because she doesn't want anything to do with anything but the life that she has built for herself. So she's thrown up walls, and his actions are tearing those walls down, even inadvertently, so that she's so again, I would think you would want to really focus on that, because I don't think that the loss of his daughter, who's 15, is pretty much a grown woman. I don't think that she would be the main issue or the main darkness.
Which is why it says, with the sense of deja vu, he must either fight or walk away. So he's lost one wife.
Yeah.
She wanted more than he was going to give. So now he's like, Lucy's now saying to him, you've ruined my life, go away, basically. And so he's like,
yeah,
he feels very lost.
So he feels lost. So let's go back here and weigh this out. He's feeling lost. He's feeling maybe a little bit of regret, because him and his wife probably had a fairly decent relationship. They probably had a very happy relationship until her wanting that child and her harping on that kind of put that wedge in between them.
Yes.
Right. So it was a good relationship. And because it was a good relationship, he's probably going to look at it as it was a perfect relationship. They were madly in love till this fight. And, he's going to put the rose-colored glasses spin on it.
Absolutely.
Right. For her, on the other hand, for Lucy, her marriage was a living nightmare. It was the complete opposite. She's not going to be going, oh, well, I feel lost. It's no. Hers is going to be panic attacks. It's going to be anxiety. It's going to be sleepless nights. It's going to be, nausea and headaches. And it's going to be, oh my God, I can't breathe. He's suffocating me. I'm just, it's going to be an emotional train wreck. And so for the darkness, for the dark aspect of it, what the big loss would be, I would be focusing more on Lucy than him. So I would say something along the lines of hang on a second here. Again, I'm sorry. I find it easier to write my thoughts down especially when I'm going through blurbs like this. So with each Lucy's demons, and again, you can change this. Demons are stirred with each of Scott's generous gifts until she finds herself at the crossroads. If she stays, will she find herself drowning in his purpose, his identity, to avoid her past mistakes. Lucy breaks up with Scott. This is, of course, it's gonna need to be tweaked a little bit. I'm just trying to get my breaks up with Scott. Only breaking up with him breaks her heart, and ultimately she will need to decide. She will need to forgive her own fear, like to overcome her own fears or lose the love of a lifetime. So something along those lines, you know. And there's two different ways of putting this in there. You know, there's two different ways we could do that. So I would you know, maybe we could combine them, but I think that's, you know, you want to go dark. You want to show the reader that the ultimate, you know, this is what's at stake. If she doesn't overcome her fears of her past, she's going to lose the love of a lifetime, because that's what it is. It's the love of her. It's going to be the love of her lifetime. So that's what you want to show. Now you can, of course, take that. You can, anything that I have put up there, by all means, feel free to take it, put it into a document, tweak it, play with it, do with it what you will. But again, it's going to be the biggest thing that you're going to do, honestly, is figure out who he is, who she is, where it's set, and what the conflict is, because she doesn't have money, so she's, you know, she's poor, he's rich.
Yeah, she doesn't have money yet.
Exactly. And even if she had the money, would she keep the money is another factor. And I don't think it's something that motivates her. Money doesn't motivate her. For her, money is it's something that she can use. It's something in experience that has given her the idea that she can literally hang on a second here. Sorry, I'm just getting people dinging me from the group. It's something that in her experience is absolutely horrendous. It's something that that is just, why would I do this? Why would I do any of this? Because it's not going to benefit me. It's going to put me back to where I was before. I need to avoid it. I need to escape it. So sorry. You just, it's literally yeah, and you want to play on that, because that's the huge part of it, because it's not simply that, you know, she had a bad marriage, so therefore she's scared of commitment. He's confirmed bachelor. He's not looking for a commitment. He's looking for a good time. She's, you know, career driven. She's engaged with her career. That's a difference in opinion. You know, it's a different way of looking at it thing. But I think it's going to be, that's what you want to focus on, really, honestly, is having that level of trauma for her. Now, having said that, who, when you're in the story, who is the most prominent, who's the most prominent character?
I alternate point of views between the two, but then this is the only book I've done it at. You get a point of view from the dog, and a point of view from the teenager. Okay. And even a point of view from the cat.
Okay.
That's insane.
Okay, so I would, again, you want to your first paragraph is your introduction for him, then introduction of her, then your third paragraph is literally going to say, hey, you know what, this is the conflict. You know, Lucy is scared of commitment to a rich man. She's scared that she's going to get overwhelmed and get swallowed up by his identity and his wealth, and her fear is holding her back from finding the love of her life. And that's your third paragraph. That's your oof. That's what's going to grab a hold of the throat and say, here you go, this is why you need to read this book. So you know, you really do have a good layout. I personally would not worry about, I wouldn't focus in the third paragraph. I wouldn't focus on Scott. I would focus on Lucy and Lucy's fear of commitment to a rich man, because that's what it is. You've given them both an equal balance within the story for screen time, and that's fantastic. There's nothing wrong with that. But you also, you know, Lucy, honestly, from the sounds of what you've said, Lucy stands to lose the most, as opposed to Scott.
It's her, not Scott.
Exactly. So when you're doing your third paragraph, knock it out with Lucy's. Lucy is the one that stands to lose. So that's who I would focus on for your third paragraph.
Okay, and I think that's where I've struggled, because I've tried to make it both of them in the last paragraph, and it's just not worked, as you can see. Like, just not come across the way it should have.
Exactly. So one thing that is really good, and when you're doing your market research, to find out, you know, if your book idea has merit, is going to be financially feasible, if it's an idea that's going to work financially for you. One of the aspects in marketing research is reading blurbs, because the thing is when you're working on a blurb, you want to write your blurb to market. You do not want to be writing the blurb to, you know, if you're doing contemporary, you don't want to be writing a blurb that sounds like it's 70 years old. You want to be writing a blurb that is to the market now. So one of the things that I do, and I struggle with my blurbs. I can help other people with their blurbs. I have no problem with it. I can tear it down and build it back up, and it's fantastic. My own, it's like, ooh, what do I do here? But I'm learning.
You built yourself that beautiful blurb the other day.
Yeah, well, and I struggled with it. But what I did is I went back and I went back to my market research, and I went back to the top. I went to Amazon, and I went to the top 100 books in, or the top 20 books in that particular genre. So I typed in Scottish Highlander romance, and the top 20 books that came up in that search, I sat down and I read the blurbs, and I looked at how they were put together, and I looked at what was the most important details. And that is what really does that's really what you want to do, is you want to focus on hooking your reader in, drawing them in, bringing them in, and then once you've got them in, getting that hook in there so deep that they can't get it out. They need to open that book. And your blurb needs to match your story. So do you know what I mean when I say that?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay. Katie, Rachel, do you ladies know what I'm talking about when I say your blurb needs to match your story? If you're not comfortable unmuting yourself, by all means, please use the chat. I am keeping an eye on it. So if you do need to just leave it there, you're more than welcome to. Because if you understand what I mean, then we'll just move on. If you don't, then I'm happy to explain it. Perfect. Okay. Awesome. Excellent. Because that's one of the things that it's really important. So when you're doing your blurb, one thing that I would suggest is write your first blurb before you even write your book. Sit down, write your blurb, figure out what is the most important aspect for your hero, your heroine, or your heroes or your heroines, or whatever way you're going to do it, whether you're doing hetero, whether you're doing gay, lesbian, fiction, romance, whatever, it doesn't matter what it is. Find out what is the strongest points for each character and start there. I have a template that I created based off of one that Mal Cooper did. I will be happy to share that with everyone. I will actually put it into the group so that you guys can actually download it and play with it. But there's some questions on there that
pretty cool.
is really, really important. Now, as we're looking at this, there are you probably have 3 really good lines that you could use for ad copy, just in what we've got in here, just in playing around with what we've got. There's probably 3 lines in there that you can use for ad copies. Can you see them?
Oh, probably not. Is it to do with demons? Is that one of them?
No, because it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. Okay, so let's go back. Your tagline. An unexpected meeting brings 2 career-driven people a second chance at love.
Oh, yes.
Your tagline. That is going to tell your readers this is a second chance at love story. It's not, this is the trope that is in this book. This is what it is, second chance romance. The next one could, it could be she's got to overcome her own fears or lose out on a love of a lifetime. That's another one that you could use for ad copy. You could tweak, you could tweak it so that tweak it a little bit and say, secrets and miscommunications haunt, Scott and Lucy as they struggle to overcome their fears of finding love or letting love in or whatever. So you could potentially, there's lots of wiggle room there that you could play around with to actually get it. So what I would do is I would polish it up and see, and then have a look at it and compare it to some of the other story, like other blurbs that are out there. Say just even the top 5. Go in and look at the top 5 in your genre and have a look at them and see. Now, this is part of a series, is it not?
Yes.
Okay, so when you're looking at a series, you can also include a line in there that links, that combines everything in your series. So is your entire series all focused on second chance romances? What's the main trope throughout all of them?
So the second one is second chance. It's definitely second chance because it's 2 people that should have ended up with each other earlier, and then he goes off and has his career and she marries someone else, and he's like, well, that was unexpected, and so they get their second chance. And then third book, it's a second chance one too, but not in the sense that they dated or anything, but it's still second chance for the same couple later on. And then the fourth book is it's, yeah, I guess there you go. I didn't realize that. And then the 5th book, the one that I'm yet to write because I want to do the blurb for it first, like you said, they're a married couple, so it's like it's a marriage in trouble, and
that, you know what, that there you go. That's perfect. It's perfect.
I didn't realize that. Yeah, I didn't realize that's what I'd done. But yes, apparently
Okay.
I have a main trope.
So your main trope is second chance romance. So let's create your tagline for the series, because that's super important, because that's what you want to have, something that is going to connect the entire series together, so that if someone picks up book 3 and they read that tagline, they're instantly going to know, hey, this is this series. So when you're looking at your tagline for an entire series, it's very similar to the tagline for the book, but you're looking at it in a much broader spectrum. You're looking at it from you know, each book individually. So, it could be something as simple as, you know, uh, you know, uh, each has a past. Each has scars on their heart, but um, they're all looking for a second chance at love, or something along those lines. It doesn't necessarily, I mean, it doesn't have to be off the charts or off the wall kind of thing. It doesn't have to be abstract. It can be very simple. It's a matter of conveying the emotion, a matter of how you approach it to really make sure that your reader understands that in this book, it's the couple both have pasts, they're going to find love again. This book, they have pasts, but they're going to find love again. This book, they have pasts, but they're going to find love again. This book, oh boy, do they have a past, but they're still going to find love together again. Whether it's, so that can be, because that's your main trope. I'm not seeing anything in there that would indicate for enemies to lovers, because I don't
No.
think that Scott and Lucy are enemies in any
No.
sense. They are, I mean, there are certain things about the situation that kind of play around a little bit, might kind of create tension and conflict, but that tension and conflict is what is building in the story and building in the relationship, and they each have to deal with what haunts them the most before they can move forward in this relationship. And that's what that's what I'm getting from this story. So yeah, that would, I mean, it's a good start. I don't see that there's anything in there other than a lot of the, like I say, there's a lot of backstory that's not necessary. You want immediacy, boom, 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 boom. It's like here he is, this is what's going to happen. Here she is, this is her, and now they have to figure out how they're going to fall in love. They've fallen in love, now they have to figure out how they're going to survive it and stay together. Oh, yes, yes, yes. I like that. Each has a past, each carries a scarred heart, yet they all deserve. Yet instead of deserve, they all seek. They're all seeking a second chance.
Oh, yeah, let me cross that out. That sounds good. They all seek a second chance. Mm-hmm. Yeah, even if they don't realize that's what they're doing, they are.
Exactly. And it can be fantastic. It can be fun. It's not dark. It's not, I'm not getting that it's dark. It's at all. It's just that they have to deal with, the past. They have to deal with their situation and with what's holding them back before they can actually embrace the second chance. So, but bravo. Yes, I think you, brilliant.
Thank you. I will. I'm taking some notes and I will have a work on it. And then I'll send it to you.
Sounds good. I will save the chat and I will post it. So if you want any of the notes or anything along those lines, I will be happy to make those available. And just in case you didn't get them. I'll
stop screen sharing now then.
Okay. Katie or Rachel, do either of you have a blurb that you would perhaps like to have a look at and see if there's something that you've missed or that you could strengthen a little bit? By all means, please feel free to screen share and we can go through it. Awesome. I'm excited.
Yay!
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Yes, Rachel. I'm a firm believer that you need to redo them frequently, especially if it's an older book. I've redone one book's blurb, I think 6 times in the last year. Just because I'm playing around with it, see if it would boost sales, see if, those sorts of things. So it's really important to know that your blurb is fluid and you can change it. And oftentimes changing your blurb can impact directly in. Awesome. Yes. Especially if you're doing a promo, you really want to make sure that you want to have a good solid blurb, because that's other than your cover, that's your next selling point. So we're just waiting for Katie to bring hers up and do a screen share. Carolyn didn't. I wonder if Carolyn's okay. She didn't come today. Okay. Sorry. No, you're fine, Katie. You're fine. I'm not. No, I've got people that are messaging me and asking if we're still if it's still happening, and it's all good. We have not had a discussion on promo sites or stacking promo, etc. I am currently looking into that. I am actually in the midst of creating something that I'm going to be announcing in the group. But if you are interested in doing promo sites, I do have are you, Rachel, are you thinking paid sites or free sites? Awesome. Okay. I have a list of sites that I have used, and I've used a few of them, and I've had some really good. They are both paid and free. I let's go through Katie's blurb here, and then if you good ladies are okay with it, we can kind of go through and maybe talk a little bit about those. Yes, we can see it, Katie. It is up and going. Awesome. Thank you so much. If you could turn your track track changes on, that would be absolutely fantastic. It's probably going to be in review. Yep. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. So it's her job to find the truth and his job to protect his family. Sparks fly, but his secrets threaten to destroy them. Casey, I'm a busy journalist, always chasing the next lead. I don't have time for men while working to be the best reporter the Philadelphia Sun has ever seen. Okay. Okay, so let's start with your tagline. Let's start with that. And I think I've seen this before. So
You've seen a version of it.
okay.
Mhm.
So let's look at your tagline here. So it's her job to find the truth, his job to protect his family. Sparks fly, but a secret's threatened to destroy them. I honestly, there's some really good points in both of those sentences. I would remove some of the filler words, combine it, shorten it, tighten it up a little bit, and go from there. That would be what I would do. So hang on a second here. Again, I'm going to type it out because I know what I'm thinking, but sometimes getting it from here to here doesn't always work the best.
Fully get that.
Petition and sparks fly. Secrets threaten to destroy. So
I could, but instead of but his secrets, maybe just but secrets.
well, see, the problem that I'm having with there is and I went through and I read through already, and so I know that she's a reporter, he's a politician. But when I'm looking at the tagline, I'm not sure exactly what you mean by find the truth, and his job to protect the family is he's a protector, of course. So is he law enforcement?
Yeah.
Is he,
I thought that like the truth, like it's her job to find the truth pertain to her being a reporter. Does that make sense?
It does, but your tagline. Okay, so your tagline is okay. It's okay. I mean,
it's okay, yeah, but it's not great.
But we want it to be something that is going to reach out, grab your reader by the throat, and pull them in and hold them. Like, we're talking grab you by the lapels of your jacket and slam you up against the wall and then, hold you there, right? So I think if you're to do it, you need to be more direct. And I'm not saying that that there's anything wrong. I mean, you could simplify it, you could tighten it up. The politician and a reporter, sparks fly, but secrets threaten to destroy them both. It gives yes, yeah,
okay.
When you're reading, when you're doing your tagline, asking yourself what do they want, need, have to do is really important. Your tagline is your hook. It's your first hook. It's not necessarily and it can be incredibly difficult to do them. The thing is your tagline is probably going to, think of it this way. We've all seen movie posters, right?
Yes.
Like, I mean, we all know what a movie poster looks like. We see it in the theater. We see the advertisement on the billboard, and they've got that lovely little sign, that little tagline on the bottom, and it's like, it's like, ooh, I gotta go see that movie. When it comes to your book, you want to do the same thing. You want to create your tagline to be the hook. You want it to be a 3-barb hook that once they get they just touch it, and it just sinks into their skin, and it's really hard to get out of so it leaves an image in their mind, a taste in their mouth.
What about like that instead?
Yes. Kel has a really good point here. Why is your blurb in first person?
Because my book's in first person.
Okay.
And that's just advice that I was given, that if the book's in first person as an indie author, if the book's in first person, the blurb should be in first person, because if the blurb is in third person, then people are going to expect a third person point of view.
But your tag is in third person.
Okay.
So here's the other thing too. Let's go back, let's take a step back here for just a moment. What, now I'm thinking this is probably romantic suspense.
Yeah.
Just from, okay. So if you were to go and look at other blurbs from romantic suspense books from indie authors, what is the tense in? Is it first person? What's the point of view? Is it first person? Is
It's
it
a
third person?
mix.
It's a
Yeah,
mix.
I looked and it's a mix. So it kind of seems like it's whatever they wanted to do, honestly, kind of however maybe they traditionally wrote blurbs before, because it was a very mixed bag when I
Okay.
looked.
Um,
Oh
this
wow.
the well, no, and that is exactly what you want to do. You want to do the market research. Writing
Yeah.
your blurb is not sitting down and banging something out after 5 minutes and calling it a square. You're not gonna you want to, when it comes to writing your blurb, you want to do multiple blurbs. You want to start off with one, with an idea for one, and you want to work your way through. I typically don't do more. I don't do less than 5 blurbs. I will write out 5 different blurbs in different ways, different, first paragraph might be from his point, about him or her or vice, and play around with it. Because it's really important to know, you want something that's gonna, just draw it in. Rachel Lynn, yes, that is wonderful. A reporter driven to settle old scores and ferret out the truth, and a politician who will protect his family at all costs. Sparks fly, but secrets may destroy them. That is absolutely phenomenal. That is a solid hook. That is what is going to, I mean, yeah, you could tighten it up a little bit, but that is a good example of a
Oh, okay.
tagline.
So not necessarily make it shorter, just make it more punchy.
It's got to be punchy. Think
It
of
has
it
to be punchier.
as
Okay.
think of it as if you are writing the copy on a movie poster.
Right.
You're not writing a tagline for your book. You're writing that 1 or 2 lines on a movie poster. That is what
Right.
so that's something to keep in your mind. There is a book. I have it on my Kindle. I will dig it out. I will dig out the title and everything. And I will actually put it, I will share the information in the group. It's really, really important when you're looking at it, that when you look at your tagline, you're not just thinking it's a tagline, you're thinking it's a hook. It's got to be punchy. It's got to be, yeah, like an elevator pitch. You've got 2 minutes to tell a big time agent what your book is about. Give me those details. I want to know why I need to pick this book up. Here's the thing. This is something that I have found, and I've been talking to some readers. I have a couple of readers that don't read on a whole. They're very particular about what they read, but one of the things that they said is that oftentimes they'll read the tagline or the first line, and if it doesn't sound interesting, they won't even read the blurb. So
Right.
it's really important to understand that your tagline is your major hook.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Okay.
but I will find you that resource book, and I will find that, and I will literally I will put it in the group, the title and the link and stuff, because it's absolutely phenomenal. The information that you will get in that book is just, it'll blow your mind. I'll be honest with you, it'll blow your mind, because it's just going to go boom, and it will help. It's called How to Do Hooks, I think it's called. Hang on a second here. I'm sitting right on my Kindle stuff. I could probably open my Kindle and actually look. Sorry. Okay, so while I'm doing this, let's take a look. Let's take a look at your. No. That's a series. Don't want that. Don't want that. Let's take a look at your Mastering Book Hooks for Authors by Rob Eager is what it's called. I'll put that down here. It's called Mastering book hooks authors. Rob Eager. It's, well, the copy that I've got, it's kind of got like an orange cover with purple writing on it, which is a little bit hard on the eyes. But I have read it probably 3 times, and I keep going back to it because I find that there's just so much good information in there. It is a 2018 book, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. So yeah. But I'm not, yeah, I'm just going to close that just so, because there's stuff in there that is, I mean, yeah, within the first page, you will just want to sit there with a pen and paper and take down notes. It's that good.
Oh, I love that.
Okay, so let's move on to the meat of your blurb here. Okay, so honestly, I'm gonna say right now there's a little, I mean, it's solid. It's a little wordy for me.
I don't love the first line, but I didn't really know like how to introduce her in a more oomph way, if that makes sense.
So she's working to be the best reporter the Philadelphia Sun has ever seen. So what if you were to start with why she's assigned to interview Donovan Hayes? What is the goal of this interview for her? Is this something that is just
It's something she's been tasked with it by her editor because he's, makes his reporters go through the paces before, giving them the real meaty stories. So it's kind of like this is expected just to be he's announcing his candidacy and, I just need you to cover the press conference.
Okay.
And she's bitter about it. She's like resentful that she has to do it because she doesn't want to, because that's why I put, like, I assume he's nothing more than a puff piece. So she thinks that it's just going to be I don't make a lot of sense today. Sorry.
No, you're making you're making perfect sense.
My English isn't good today.
Well, then speak bad English today.
Okay. That's what I feel like I've been doing all day.
So let's clarify right off the bat. So, to be taken, Rachel offers very good advice. She's been relegated to the society column and the local fun fair coverage and wants to be taken serious. So if that's what she wants, so she's actively seeking, to be promoted, to be, to become an A-star reporter with this particular one. So, what if you started with interviewing Donovan Hayes was supposed to be the next step on the ladder of my career, or something along those lines. Yes, my ticket to the byline. But instead of the puff piece,
I like that too. How do you spell byline?
BYLINE.
Byline. Maybe like interviewing Donovan Hayes was supposed to be my ticket to the byline after covering.
No, interviewing.
Okay, just leave it like that.
Just supposed to be my ticket to the byline, period. And then you could say, but instead of so, and then what I would do and you know, Rachel, it has some really good suggestions, but what I would do personally is I would go, I would tighten it up and say, you know, just my thoughts are going a mile a minute here, so I'm just trying to, I'm trying to corral them. Okay, so but you could say instead of a puff piece, I, you know, I
Maybe just here. What if I just did this?
track changes, please, so that I don't want you to, delete permanently. I want to make sure that okay.
I have so many copies of this. I'm good.
Okay.
I have these all over the place. This is the final. No, this is the final. So it may be like this. Irving Donna Free Hayes was wearing tickets to the byline. I assume he's nothing more than.
That's something like, he's not an ordinary politician. Like, he's more than he appears.
Yes, I love that. You know, instead of a puff piece, you know, the man I met was, you know, was more than just a politician. Something along, yes, that is, don't touch the he ignites a passion in me line just yet. Leave that alone. We haven't got there.
Sorry.
I'll get the wet noodle out.
I know.
So you know, I would go, instead of I assume he's nothing more than a puff piece that looks good in a 3-piece suit, I would change it to, you know, maybe instead of the puff piece that looked good in a 3-piece suit.
She's changed tense too.
Yes, she has. Yes.
Oh,
So is it first person present tense or past tense?
I suppose it would be, it would be president.
Okay.
So
Interviewing
is
supposed to be my ticket to the byline. I assume he's nothing more than a puff piece that looks good in a 3-piece suit. And then, you know what? I would leave that. I assume he's nothing more than a puff piece that looks good in a 3-piece suit. Then take out more than good, if I'm being honest. Take that line out. And I couldn't have been more wrong about him.
Take that line out too.
No, you want to keep, I would keep that.
Okay,
one.
yeah.
Okay, because it's yes. I would not italicize it. So for someone who has vision problems, I'm going to be honest with you. When I come across things that have a lot of italics in them, I tend to skim through the italics because it's hard on my eyes to read, especially when you have large chunks. So it's, you want to kind of keep that in mind, especially when it's an ebook. If it's a print, it's different because with print, there's no glare off the page. Okay. But when it's ebooks, there's a little bit of a difference, but something to consider. I would also move it up so that it's pure, a 3-piece suit, period, space. I couldn't have been more wrong about him. Okay.
Maybe make this a separate, like that.
So,
no?
But why does he ignite a passion? Why is he igniting that a passion? What is it? You know, what is it? What's the why behind it? The passion, you know, his touch ignites a passion in me I didn't know existed, or I didn't realize I was missing.
Okay.
You know, or he ignites his you know, his caress, just his touch just sets me ablaze and ignites the passion that I have tried so hard to deny so I can be taken serious, right? You want to kind of give a why to that passion. I would I would just before we delete that or anything, I would just leave that for right now. And then let's just go down to Donovan and have a quick run through there. Because the why could potentially be answered in what Donovan's information is, if that makes sense. So now we've got Donovan. I have 2 goals. 1, winning the selection. 2, keeping my family from public scandal. It's all going according to plan until I meet Casey, a reporter with lips I want to lose myself in. Is it just her lips that he wants to lose himself in, or is it the rest of her too?
I was kind of trying to hint at the sex, not so much,
What is your heat rating on this book? 1 star, like what's your heat rating?
flames.
All the flames? Okay, then honey, you need to bring the flames. Bring it. Because that is part and parcel. If you're writing a blurb that comes across as a sweet romance and you have a reader that picks it up and opens it, and 3rd chapter in there, it's just clothes are flying left, right, and center, and
Oh yeah.
he's
Won't go down
ripping her
well.
panties off with his teeth, then yeah, you might have some issues.
There's a little bit of that.
Yeah,
So
Rachel's right.
yes.
Yeah, so that was kind of part of the mystery I was kind of trying to keep, because it's the family secret, or the scandal that he's trying to keep from public eye, has to do with his brother. But I didn't want to introduce too many characters, because I had written a couple blurbs introducing the brother, and people were like, no, you're introducing a secondary
1 or
character.
2. 1 or 2 characters at most.
Yeah, like at the 1 or 2 characters max. And so I already have the 2 characters.
Yes. So you don't want to be introducing any more.
Yeah.
So so what you could do is say, I have 2 goals. Or you know what? What about instead of saying I have 2 goals, 1, winning this election, 2, keeping my family from public scandal, what if you combine them? What if you combine them and said, something along the lines of
Keeping my family from scandal and winning this election are my 2 goals.
Exactly. And if it's the brother,
Yeah.
I wouldn't use the word family. Rachel is correct with her. I would
Yeah, I'm having a hard time reading both of them, listening and reading the chat. You guys, I keep looking back at the chat though, I promise.
So hold on. So keeping my family from scandal.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on, let me do this.
And winning this election.
And winning this selection are my main
Are my
goals.
2 goals. Are my main goals, yes.
Yeah,
My
main goals. Yeah. Okay, so just out of curiosity, and I know this is not in the blurb, but what did his brother do? Did he have an affair with a married woman? Is it something that he did that was illegal? Did he run over somebody's puppies?
Kink clubs.
Oh, okay.
What? Say that again.
I told you. I see your face.
No. I think the word sounded different when it came out. So say it again.
He enjoys kink clubs.
Oh, okay. I thought you said pink, and I'm like, that doesn't sound right.
What are pink
I
clubs?
need to know what you said now. Yes. Oh, okay. Right. Ooh. That sounds saucy.
It's all right.
Oh, Rachel had was club, so it's not just me.
Exactly. I was thinking golf. I could never know. Maybe they're playing with golf
Oh,
balls.
that's a country club. It's a pretty raunchy country club, this one.
What about keeping, instead of saying keeping my family from scandal, what about keeping
Maybe
keeping
keeping my brother from scandal, make it a little bit.
keeping the scandal, my brother's scandal from public eye, or something along the, yes, my black sheep brother's alternative. I love that. Yes, his
Okay.
alternative lifestyle. Was he into the latex and the,
What about
the-
what about staying away from scandal?
Staying away from scandal. Well, yeah, because
Staying away from
tried to
scandal.
scandal as
'Cause-
well.
Yeah, because that then that includes everything. Everything's
I-
under that umbrella then, in terms of
Yeah, I do
scandal.
like that. Staying, because it would be scandalous to have
Yep.
an affair with a reporter that's doing a story.
Oh,
Staying away from scandal.
Rachel, I love that idea. I totally think
Yeah,
that,
me
yes,
too. I was
I
just gonna
totally
say
think
that.
she should do that.
Book 3. Stay tuned.
Okay, as my main goals. It's all going according to plan until I meet Casey, a reporter. Until I meet Casey.
Oh, hold on a second. We know from the top, from the tagline, that he's a politician, but he doesn't. He only says he wants to win the election. And we're saying, like, here are his main goals. Why don't we say
Like a political hopeful.
being a politician or political hopeful, whatever? Yeah, staying away from scandal and winning this election are my main goals. To be a politician. Yeah, something like that.
So and I'm going to assume that this is US politics, and I'll be the first one. I'm not that familiar with them. Canadian, yeah, I can kind of guess, but what is his position that he's after? Is he
A senator.
he's looking to be senator? Okay,
Mhm.
so what if you say, what if you went back into cases and saying, interviewing Senate hopeful Donovan Hayes is supposed to be my,
Yeah.
Mhm.
okay, Rachel, we're going to hook you up with Katie, because if you've got 10 years in US politics, by the way, yeah, you guys need to converge. Comma after Hayes.
Thank you. This is why I have an editor and I don't do my own editing.
Oh, girl, you need to get it's in the car.
I have the book. I know what book you're going to tell me.
The self-editing for, yeah, huh? You need to go.
Is Senate hopeful? Are they 2 capitals?
Maybe Senate hopeful.
I think that's. Oh, is it US Senate or your state? Like, is it federal or state?
State.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so it's supposed to be my ticket to the byline. I assume he's nothing more than puff piece. Okay, blah blah blah. So I would. So okay, so that gives us lots of information, which makes what Donovan is saying so much easier to understand.
No, he's not running against any of that, Rachel.
So let's, so what if we, he, of course, so is he accepting of his brother's lifestyle?
He is not. He's not a fan of it because it could cause, his father is a retired.
Is he a drag queen?
What's that?
The brother, like, is he a drag queen?
They're what? I'm sorry, I can't hear. Okay, I just turned up my speaker. What did you say? Sorry.
Is he a drag? Like, what's his lifestyle? Is he a drag queen?
No,
Like,
Oh,
or is he
yes.
just
So
into-
is he a
Yeah,
drag
because-
queen? Is he like a cross dresser? Is
No,
he?
he is
yeah,
typical party boy, rich kid, that just likes a little kink with his sex.
Is he a dom or a
much.
sub?
Yeah.
I don't go into him being either.
So how much information are you giving in this book about the brother?
Just that he likes the sex clubs, and his brother has to send like security in after him to
That doesn't seem scandalous. If it's just vanilla stuff, it doesn't seem scandalous.
So, but I'm wondering, yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I was
that
thinking it
doesn't
was
seem like a
something really-
scandalous. Yeah, not unless he's going into clubs and he, maybe he's come from a background of, maybe he's not out. And I'm not saying that this is the situation, but maybe he's not out, and maybe he's gay, and his family thinks that this is the worst thing since, income tax filing. I don't know, but having something that, I mean, that could be a scandal. Maybe his family doesn't know that he's a little bi, or he dresses in drag. Maybe he's one of these guys that likes to wear high heels and skirts, but it's very masculine. I mean, you have the scandal has to match. Maybe he's one of these guys that likes to go to the glory holes. I don't know. I mean, what, just because he goes to a club that has kinky sex in it doesn't necessarily mean, or is it a case of maybe there's false allegations against his brother? Maybe his brother is being
false allegations, but that was resolved before the book starts. And then his brother, from him going to the sex clubs, they're live sex clubs. So I don't know if that makes it more scandalous for everybody.
I think even though
Catholic history, that's pretty scandalous.
Even though the allegations were resolved, the fact that has been accusations, or maybe it's a BDSM, maybe it's a BDSM club, and maybe he's one of the guys that are in the cages getting whipped. Maybe that's his thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't go into that so much, because I was kind of going to play that more, go into stuff, and I might not even really delve a lot into him going into the sex club so much when I go into his book, but it's more he's going into these not private, and his family is in the political public eye.
What I would do is, instead of staying away from scandal, I would say staying away from potential scandal, because if you're not going to go into it, you're not really going to give the reader the idea of what the scandal is. And so, if you say scandal, they're going to be looking, or maybe keeping away from family embarrassment would be distancing himself. What about distancing himself from his black sheep brother, and winning the election are his main goals. That gives enough of wiggle room for the reader to understand that him and his brother don't always, that there's something about his brother. But if you're not going into it in detail in this book, and you're using the word scandal, you're going to have a lot of pissed off readers if there is no scandal.
Embarrassment and staying away from family embarrassment
and winning this election are my main goals. That's perfect. It gives just
Take
enough.
the A out of embarrassment.
Yeah, you got to take that extra A. It's EMBAR. Embarrassment.
Embarrassment.
Okay, so until I meet Casey, I would put a period after Casey. And then
yeah, take out that.
I would take out the lips to lose myself in.
Yeah, definitely.
And then definitely you want to amp it up. Amp up. Yeah. What is it? She's a distraction I don't need, but I can't stay away from her. So what is it about her? Is it I can't stop picturing her without her clothes on, or the peak of the lace of her bra just turns me on, or give us something from his standpoint that
Okay.
is going to,
Hey, stop fighting.
it gives
Ooh,
us something
sorry.
to, no, you're good. That gives us something to kind of latch onto that really shows why she's a distraction. So maybe it's the curve of her breasts or her hips or her, the flow of her breasts into her hips just make me want to, grab her and hold her. And
Okay, so let's see.
Does she not dress like a reporter?
No, she does.
yeah, but you can dress sexy as a reporter. I mean, you can, if
Oh
it's a
yeah, you can.
pantsuit. But that's the thing is if she's interviewing him and maybe he's like, okay, well, it's, there's more than one. Maybe she's got to attend an event. So and he's there and he sees her across the room in this slinky, shape hugging, dress that's kind of low cut that shows the décolletage and the shape of her butt.
Yeah,
And,
well,
those sorts of
exactly.
things.
Maybe the interview is happening, like that, somewhere different. So she's not dressing as conservatively as she wants to, because earlier on you said she wants to be taken seriously as a reporter.
Yes.
So if she's a distraction to him, maybe, she's suddenly, like, she's supposed to interview him and whatever's happened. So instead of it happening, in his office with everybody around, she's at a do and runs into him there. And she's like, all
Yeah.
right, well, I'm just going to ask you some questions now. Like, so it's not a
On the
it's not
record type thing.
Yeah, that's it.
Or
So-
maybe it's they're supposed to meet up to do this interview, and God forbid she's wearing white and she gets caught in the rain, and she's trying to do this interview and she doesn't realize that the jacket that she's wearing is showing everything. I mean, it could happen, right? I mean, who knows?
It didn't happen in the book, but
so something about her attraction is pulling him away from his dream. Okay.
okay. So let's see. Oh God. Okay, put your thinking cap on, Katie. I can't help but imagine her long legs wrapped around me. No.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Wrapped around my neck and the taste of her on my lips.
Oh my God, Patricia.
Jesus, I was not expecting that. I'm really interested for your book now, Patricia. My God.
Oh. Let's see. I can't help but picture. I can't help but picture her long legs. You don't think that's going to be too scandalous for Amazon?
Well,
Blurb?
you're instead of around his neck, around his waist, right?
Okay.
And the taste of her on his lips, that could be something as simple as a kiss.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll picture her wrapped around.
You could just go, I can't help but picture her long legs wrapped around me.
Yes, there you go.
Taste. God, sorry, I'm a terrible typer. Taste on my lips.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the fire between us, is undeniable, and it's not unstoppable because they can walk away from each other, right? It's undeniable. And I would do, it's undeniable, period, and dangerous. No, same line.
Okay.
You've got two N's in there, Dom.
Where do I have two N's?
The fire between us is undeniable and dangerous.
Okay, so period. Okay, so that's your that's your top, that's your 2 paragraphs there, and then you need to do your 3rd paragraph, which just ties it all together and gives the consequence. Okay, so if so what's the consequence? So the consequence of their their relationship is, if the secrets are if secrets are revealed, you know can I trust her, can I trust she isn't using me for a story? Destruction of my career, in this is a destruction of my career, the stepping stone. I like that. I like both of those. I do.
For the 3rd paragraph, just make this.
Yeah. Surface. Can I trust if the story isn't using me? You could combine them. What about when secrets surface? Can I trust she isn't using me as a stepping stone for her career? Oh, so what's the what's the if she's using him for a stepping
Oh,
stone
that's
of her
nice,
career?
Rachel.
Yes, I
Mhm.
love that, Rachel. Yes, yes, yes. If she's using him as a stepping stone, what is who has the most to lose? I guess would be my question. Is it her or him? If the
Well,
relationship is, in the grand scheme of the relationship, who has the most to lose if the secrets that he's trying to keep hidden are revealed? Who has the most to lose?
well, he would lose the election, potentially lose the election because of the brother, or she would lose her career because if people found out that she was sleeping with a
Politician. The
politician
senator.
who she's doing a piece on.
But I don't know so much that would destroy her career. I think it would give her a reputation, but not necessarily derail her career. I think
He might have what do you call it? Not links, but people in the know that she wouldn't be able to get another job in that town.
yes, it could potentially destroy
What's it
her.
called? He could destroy his what is the word? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, his connections, his
Connections.
yeah.
His connections could take her out basically. She would never
Yeah.
be able to. I mean, you've seen Venom, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's the key, is figuring out what the end game is, who has the most to lose. Yeah, he could potentially lose the election, but that's a potential lose the election. And
Right.
he could win the election. I mean, look at Trump. I mean, we're talking massive scandals, and he still won and became president.
Yeah.
So when you look at that, sometimes a scandal isn't necessarily at the end all be all for destroying a career. There has to be more to it. So maybe it's her career that is on the line, or her reputation. She gets a reputation as sleeping around to get the inside scoop on a potential someone that she's interviewing. It could it could jeopardize her career to the point where she may never be able to work again, because that's going to be what every man that she interviews is going to expect, right?
Right.
But if she doesn't if she doesn't break the story, then it's going to hurt her career, because she's going to, her boss is going to fire her because she didn't do her job. So I don't know. But is it just a professional? Is it just a professional consequence that they're going to face, or is there an emotional one as well?
Well, yeah, there is an emotional one because they have to both, she's reserved and and isn't willing to open up herself and has always played it really safe and boring. And he's never felt that he could open up to another woman because he's rich, and he's always had, worried about women using him for social standing.
Okay, so but what I'm saying is if the so if we go back to the secrets that he's trying to hide and she reveals them, right? That's going to destroy the trust that they build throughout their relationship, even though it's kind of it's questionable, right?
Yeah, that is a part of the story, is because it's her sister that's actually working on a story, who's also a younger investigative journalist trying to kind of follow Casey in her footsteps, that is doing a very serious story on the brother. And that's how they all find, it's not how Casey finds out about it, but that brings in kind of the suspense element, because then a stalker is introduced as well, who is stalking the brother. And his
Oh,
Donovan's
blackmail.
Yes. So that adds blackmail, but so it's not just simply a cost of a career. It could, so what about when secrets surface? Can I trust she isn't using me for a story, or is the distraction, or something like that, that you could lead with that, but when secrets surface, can I protect her from from this malevolent enemy that is stalking my family, or something along those lines, so bring that into your in there, because if the stalker finds out about her, and you can figure that they can use her to get to the family, that adds a layer of life and death that's in there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And I didn't introduce any. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Katie.
Oh, I wasn't sure. Yeah, because I had introduced it. You don't think it would be where I was kind of trying to keep it a little bit more vague, one, so that people are like, well, what is it? What's going on? What's the scandal? What's the intrigue? Without spelling it out much, but I haven't introduced like the brother and the sister aspect or the stalker aspect in the blurb. That's just why
you don't need to.
Okay. Okay.
So because your third paragraph is your okay, this is the worst case scenario, if this is the end all be all, and if, because the brother and the sister and the stalker are kind of the subplot, they're not the romance is the main plot, and then the rest of this is the subplot. It's not really, I don't think that you don't need to inject it in here. So use that in your third paragraph, where it's like when secrets surface, the darkness stalking my family comes into play, and can I, I have to, can I save Casey from this monster that's terrorizing my family, or something along those lines.
Well, you could bring that up in Casey's one.
Yep.
At the top where you've got he ignites a passion. Instead of saying that, you could add that in. Yeah, I know you put taken seriously somewhere. It's up there.
Yeah.
Being with him will destroy my reputation, and possibly end my career. Well, it wouldn't destroy, it would alter her reputation, and it could possibly end a career if he used his connections. So you could actually, he ignites passion in me I didn't know existed.
But that's the thing, is the stalker actually out to get her, or is it just out for the brother?
The stalker is out for the brother, but takes Casey and Casey's sister, because the stalker has it in her head that they're trying to interfere on. She takes the sister because she thinks that the sister is after the brother romantically and trying to, get in with him. And then she takes Casey because the stalker blames Donovan for keeping her and Jackson apart.
Okay,
Ah.
so then what about what about I think that I think you need to have that in there, and I think
That's what I felt like too, but everybody was like, no, it's too wordy.
no, make that your third paragraph. Make that your third paragraph. So, um, um, amid secrets and scandals and, um, my,
Staying in the family eye.
yeah,
Yep,
then you could say, bring it in where it's like, can I save Casey from the violent. Good night, Rachel. Thank you so much for
welcome.
coming. It was awesome to have you here. You could say something along the lines of, you know, to protect Casey. I'm just trying to think. Hang on a second.
Figure out how to tie it in. Let's see.
Is when my brother's secrets are revealed. I find
Talk is a
myself
part
in
and parcel of being in the public eye.
raced save Casey. It's too late.
Dark force. That's not the right word, but I'm just gonna put it in there for
No. What about something like when my brother's secrets are revealed, or you'd have to rewrite it, of course, but when my brother's secrets are revealed, I find myself in a life and death race to save Casey before it's too late.
yeah, a dark force. I was thinking like a dark force threatens.
Be
my-
careful with the dark force.
Yeah, and I don't like that. But I'm just kind of
Okay. No, and I'm saying it's good. It's got power, but just be careful with it, because dark force can imply paranormal elements or fantasy elements or sci-fi elements. So when
yeah.
you're
You could just put in a third party. When a third party threatens my family.
what about a faceless what about a faceless enemy? A faceless
Ooh,
enemy
right.
threatens my family. And
I like faceless enemy threatens my family. Can I save? Okay, I don't want to just say, well, let me just put it in. Can I save Casey in time? Okay, I don't love it. So when a faceless, can I save Casey in time? Can I?
a faceless enemy threatens my family, and
Threatens my family, and Casey is Casey is
what about what about a faceless enemy threatens my family, and I'm in a race against death to save Casey.
hot on my heels.
Yes.
With a stalker. Okay, a face. So you mean like so a faceless enemy threatens my family with the stalker. Okay. A faceless enemy threatens my family, and Casey is now in danger with a stalker on my heels, is running out to save her. But time is running out to save her to.
You know what? No. With a stalker hot on my heels, time is running out.
Period.
Time is of the essence. Time is of the essence.
Or time is of the essence, or something along those lines.
Time it.
Yes.
So when stalker hot on my heels, time is of the essence.
Yeah.
What did I have?
Wrong section.
Oh, it's sunny Thursday. Like you said. Stalker hot on my heels. Time is of the essence to save her.
I no, just
Just
say
of the
time is of
essence.
the essence, period.
T-I.
Did I spell essence wrong? Why am I-
T-I. Go back to E-N-T-I. Oh, give me a
No,
second.
essence is right.
Essence is right. That just looks, it looks too short for me with this
I was
stalker.
going to central, but yes, anyway, it is, you're right.
With a stalker closing in.
Time of is of the is of the essence.
I like, what about with the stalker closing in, time is of the essence?
Yes,
Yeah.
I like that. Sometimes it just takes, you know,
Yeah.
talking it out.
Yeah, see, that's brilliant. That's
Okay.
brilliant.
Here
That
we go.
gives you, and that gives you ad copy as well.
Oh, nice.
Okay. So should I get rid of this line then?
Which line here?
When secret surface, can I trust?
Yeah. Yeah,
Get
you
rid of
could.
it?
Yeah. Because it's their relationship ultimately isn't being threatened by her revealing anything. Things come to light now. It's no longer a matter of can I hide my brother's predilections for kinky sex. Now it's oh my God, now I have to save her from being killed because my brother has angered this crazy person.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Is she from the club too?
What's that?
Is she from the club as well?
The stalker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah. And the brother actually buys a sex club too, which will play a
Ooh.
part in the third one, in the third book.
Oh,
Yeah. And he accidentally goes to the sex club. She's tricked into going, thinking that she's just going to a regular club by her sister. It's a whole thing. There's like so many, it's a whole subplot that like, I can't put it all in the blurb because it would just,
Too much information.
Too much information. Exactly. And I understand that, but I'm like, there's so many other things that like make it all make sense. But I know you want people to buy the book, and that's why you don't want to put the whole book in the blurb.
Yes, yes. You want it to have that hook. So I'm just pulling something up here. Just bear with me a minute. Because I think it's really important. So when it comes to looking at things like, you know, your blurb, you want to remember, you want to keep it like super simple. Like you want to keep it in where is it? I'm just looking here. No. Ah, there we go. Okay, so this is what this is something that I think is really important, because what it boils down to when you're doing your blurb is you're selling your story, right? That's what you're doing. You're trying to sell it. So keeping it active, keeping it in, you know, taking out all unnecessary, anything that isn't necessary, just get rid of it, because there's no need to have it. So when you're looking at it, backstory wait is no conflict. Yeah, so every word counts, right? Like that's the thing. You want to make sure that you're getting rid of any passive voice. You're getting rid of any filler words. You know, what if something you know, you want to so basically, you know, at the end of the day, 4 things to consider when you're looking at writing your blurb. Of course, you want to make sure that your genre is clear, your character, it's character focused, which this one is. Your setting and your plot it's clearly there. We already know this. She's a reporter, he's a politician, he's trying to do this and this and this, and she's trying to climb the professional ladder. And your tropes, you want to make sure that you are writing to tropes. Now you're writing with a romantic suspense. So to me, this is more of an enemies to lovers because she thinks he's a pompous jerk and he thinks she's just out to get whatever she can from him. So they don't start off on good terms. They're more of a, it's more of an enemies to lovers. And then it just kind of builds on that. So you've got tropes in there. You've got the character driven aspect of it. I think this ignites he ignites a passion in me I didn't know existed and didn't realize I needed. I think what I would do, because here's the thing, you've got two sentences that are redundant in there. You've got two pieces of information that are redundant. They cancel each other out. So if you want to keep that, I would say his touch ignites a passion in me I didn't know existed, period. But will being with him destroy my reputation and possibly end my career? Because she knows she needs passion. She needs to be passionate about what she's doing. So saying that she doesn't realize that she, doesn't realize that she needs to be passionate is kind of, but yeah, what do you think?
I love it so much more.
Yeah, it's in your face. It's much more active. It's much more, there's nothing screaming passive. It's very much, okay, boom, I got to meet her. This is what's going on. Boom. And now it's like, you know what I mean? It's just, yeah, I like it much better. It's much more active, much more engaging.
I like it. I needed this part better though. A reporter, a
wannabe politician, or what do you call it?
Political hopeful.
An aspiring politician, or
and a reporter looking to make a name for herself.
Ooh.
Oh, I like it. And aspiring, not inspiring. Sparks fly, but secrets threaten to destroy them.
Yes.
Okay. My PR company is going to hate me. I've changed this. This will be the third time I've changed the blurb in my my author folder.
No. There, you know what? A good PR company should be working with you to get it polished, in my opinion.
Yeah, I asked, I asked their opinions, and I had two separate blurbs, not this good. I had two separate blurbs, and they said that they liked them both, but the second one was punchier. So this was my second one. So, I mean, you can imagine that my first one, I mean, it was okay. It wasn't great.
Well, and that's the thing, is that they're not great, but the key is to know if you're writing it to market. Are you writing it to market? And if you're not writing it to market, then you need to take a step back and figure out what you need to do to be able to write it to market. Now, having said that, I honestly, for me, this is good. This is catchy. This is something that I would pick up and read.
Okay.
I don't read. I'm not a first person reader. I'll be honest with you. First person drives me up the wall. I can't get into it. I can't relate to the characters. I don't know if it's just because my brain doesn't recognize. I don't know, but I would read it.
Okay. I like
it. It sounds good.
Yeah, I like this way better. So read it aloud and see how it sounds on the tongue, because that's a good way to test it, to see if if it works. So, you know, an aspiring politician and a reporter looking to make a name for herself. Sparks fly, but secrets threaten to destroy them.
I feel
that-
like that's Nick
Yeah.
and catching. Yeah. Yeah. Interviewing Senate hopeful Donovan Hayes is supposed to be my ticket to the byline. I assume he's nothing more than a puff piece that looks good in a 3-piece suit. I couldn't have been more wrong. Should I get rid of the about him?
Yes, it's passive. Yeah. I couldn't have
Yeah.
been more wrong.
This touching means a passion I didn't know existed. But will being with him destroy my reputation, possibly end my career?
That shows stakes. That
Mhm,
shows what she's up against, right?
mhm. Should maybe, but will being with him cause a scandal that could destroy my reputation and possibly end my career?
No,
No? Okay.
I don't think so.
That's me.
You can put it in, but it's going to be too wordy.
Okay. Okay. I trust you. Staying away from family embarrassment and the lecture of my main goals. It's all going according to plan until I meet Casey. I can't help but picture her long legs wrapped around me and her taste on my lips. The fire between us is undeniable and dangerous. A faceless enemy threatens my family and Casey is now in danger. With soccer closing in, time is maybe instead of the essence running out, time is running out.
Of the essence is very formalized. So is Donovan a kind of a formal kind of guy?
He is, but I feel like it might be a little too, like, I feel like that is more formal than the rest of this. Does that make sense?
Yes. So that comma after family, you can get rid of.
Time is running out. Time is running out.
Faceless and threatens my family and Casey is now in danger. So I would, if a faceless enemy threatens my family, period.
Yeah, Casey is now in danger.
Casey and Casey is at risk, or danger stalks Casey, or something along those lines. Like, now is now, and Casey is, take out the now.
Take out Casey is Casey is in danger. Take Casey as a target.
Yes, Casey is a target. There you go. Or what about Casey is the next target?
Casey is the next target. There we go. A faceless enemy threatens my family. Casey's the next target. The start closing in. Time is running out. Okay, that flows real good. That flows much better.
What do you think, Kel?
Yeah, it's so much neater. Is that the word?
It is. Oh, good. Can we do that? Let's do this for all of our blurbs from now on. We'll just do this when anybody needs a new blurb. We'll just have this.
Oh, good. Do we want to look at mine again in a minute then? Now I've sort of fiddled with it.
Yes, please.
Here, I'll stop my screen sharing. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
That's so good.
Okay.
It's really good, isn't it?
It is. Sorry, it's not the conversation. It's the long hours, and I worked till 6 today. I'm going to be announcing. I'm going to let you guys know. I'm going to be announcing in the group that I'm going to be moving the roundtables to 7:30. I work till 6 now. I literally got home, gobbled a few bites of my supper, and got on the computer. I barely had time to say hi, bye, water the bunnies. And I don't want to keep you guys waiting too long, so I'm going to be moving it to 7:30. I apologize, but it's either that or move it to a weekend, and I don't work on weekend. I'm not doing this on weekends. I'm trying to focus on family time and that sort of thing. So
No, this is a good
I
day
get
for
it.
weekends anyway, so I'm okay with this. Yeah, but definitely a later time for sure.
I know that I know it's just there's some people. Oh, what is you guys' schedule looking like on the 17th?
Oh, yeah, I guess.
What is the 17th?
It's a Thursday. That week we're not having a Wednesday roundtable because we're doing a live interview Q&A with a special guest who doesn't do evenings.
Oh, is that the day that Dave Chesson is doing? 17th is Dave Chesson. That's right. And you were going to do it early, and I didn't even put it in my phone. And I thought I had. Okay. What time are we?
Yes. It's noon my time.
So that would be
Probably
10 a.m. I'm Pacific. You're Central, right?
yeah, I'm central. Yeah, I'm central. Yes, and it is going to be a Q&A. He's going to be walking us through Publisher Rocket keywords categories.
Oh, I just bought Publisher Rocket. I really like it.
I
I
love Publisher Rockets. So, Cal, if you want to put your tweaked blurb back up, that would be
Oh,
fantastic.
yep.
But I just kind of
Nice.
wanted to see because yeah, I'm it'll be recorded, of course, but I'm super stoked because this is going to be awesome. I have the day off of work. And so, yeah, we are going to be doing a deep dive. I have a couple of very special guests that I am working on getting. Oh, that's what I should do. That was what I was going to do. I should check and see if I've heard back. Okay, so okay. Who reminds who too much of someone else?
Yeah. Is that better?
No. You got it, the line reads, "Who reminds who too much of someone else?"
Oh my God. Meant to be her.
There you go. And I think you can, I think you can remove, especially when he's just so easy to be around.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
think
yep.
you can.
Oh,
Yeah.
yep. Okay.
So instead of saying breaking up with Scott only ends up destroying her heart, what about breaking up with Scott destroys her heart? Take up only ends up and just go be direct. It destroys her heart.
Oh God, what am I doing?
I'm not quite sure, but you don't need that comma.
Oh, okay. Ah, yes, I see now. No.
Instead of she will need to overcome her own fears or lose the love of her life,
Lucy?
what about she must overcome?
Mhm.
Will need to is passive.
Mhm.
No, yeah. Oh, yeah. Lucy, must. Yes. Instead of own fears, old fears.
Oh yeah, that's much better.
But yes, that's good.
That's really
Should
good.
it be gifts or gift?
Well, has he dropped money in onto her property more than once?
Yes. Yes.
Then gifts, then multiples. Yep.
Okay.
What about taking out Jess? Lucy just wants to run. Lucy wants to
Oh,
run.
Yep.
yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's an extra. Do you know what I noticed? So Word now has a thing when you go into do spelling and grammar, like when it does a search through your manuscript, and there's another thing when it adds in, and it's called conciseness or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I've realized that I put absolutely in front of a lot of stuff. He absolutely did not do that. And I'm like, holy crap, I didn't realize I did that.
I use the word that all the time. Like every time I go through, that is my word. I mean, every time I go through and start editing, I'm just deleting that.
How about at the top
Edit.
there, she's an independent woman instead of she's a rural cop. I think that reads a little bit better, because then down
Yes.
below I talk about how she's in law enforcement.
Mhm,
Yes.
mhm.
He's a confirmed bachelor. She's an independent woman. An unexpected meeting brings two career-driven people a second chance at love.
Mhm.
So take out content with the status quo, and who doesn't need distractions. Take those both out.
Are they still two separate sentences?
You can use yep. Yep.
Period. Mhm. Mhm.
Yep. There you go.
I know I
Beauty.
like.
That. I really like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a little fiddle here too. Put that in.
His supportive family is what he needs now. Is it supposed to be is or are?
Sorry, say that again.
His supportive family are what he needs now, or his supportive family is what he needs now.
Yeah,
What he now.
yeah.
He is.
Yes,
Well,
that
let
sounds much
me pull
better.
out my self-editing for fiction writers book and
It is a must.
uh-huh.
But yeah, no, that's beautiful. I love it.
Much better.
Much, much better. And you see the difference between this one and the previous one. You've taken out all of the backstory.
Yeah. Do you want to see? That's kind of. This is the one I had originally. Okay. Let me just. I found it in something else, and I was like, "Ooh, look at that!" So that's the original one I started with.
All right.
I come across it last night. I was like, "Oh, I forgot I wrote that."
Okay, this is awesome. All right, ladies. I have literally kept you on here for almost 3 hours. I apologize.
Thank you. We don't mind, Kelly.
I will, I am going to be, we will be doing another craft roundtable next week. I'm going to talk about plotting and organization. Plotting is something that I struggle with big time. And how to avoid the same character traits from book to book to book. So it's kind of going to be a little bit of it's going to be a little bit of a walkthrough on a couple of different points, which is so important. But yes, and then again, the 17th will be the next one, and it will be live with Dave Chess. And I am working on a couple of very special guests. Fingers crossed. And I am also working on something else, but I will be announcing details of that very soon. It should be awesome because what I'm working on will be fun. It'll be fun for someone. I'm sure. It'll be a lot of work for me, but no, it's going to be good. It'll be good. But for right now, I am, because it is 10 to 10 here. I have been up since 6. I'm going to hop off of here and sit back, and I'm going to do a little bit of reading before I wind up going to bed. If either of you ladies need anything, please do not hesitate to reach out. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. I always dread some Wednesdays, I dread doing these because I'm so worried people are not going to show up.
No, this is the perfect night for me.
Awesome.
Yeah, it works for me too.
Sunday the 13th, if at 8 p.m. my time, if you are available, please join us in Writing Women podcast page. We are going live with another episode. We are going to be talking sex in romance and writing it from a male standpoint, writing women characters.
What time?
8 p.m. my time, which is 6 p.m. your time.
Yeah, women writing women podcast. Is that on Facebook or YouTube?
It's on Facebook. We do have a YouTube channel, and we also have an Anchor channel, but it'll be going live in Facebook for sure. We've been having some problems trying to connect with YouTube when we do the lives, and the only way I can fix it is actually to go live. So it's a bit, so I'm trying to pick a date when I know no one's going to be around, and then I'm going to fix it. But for right now, it's kind of, but yeah, February 13th is when it is going to be. And if you have any questions that you would like us to answer, by all means, it is geared towards men asking women questions on how to write women. But the way I look at it, if there might be something that you guys have seen in a book and you're like, oh, what the hey, and it's a perfect topic for a conversation. So it's very interactive. It's a ton of fun. I will post the link in the group. Check it out.
Okay.
It's a lot of fun.
You're in my calendar.
You're gonna get so sick of me.
No, I'm not. No, I'm
No,
not.
never.
I am also working on a roundtable, which it's going to be a 3-parter, which is probably going to be in May. It's taking me that long. I have a lot of research going into this one. I'm actually doing it's on how to set up an author business globally. So I'm focusing on how to set up different corporations and companies and stuff in different places in the world, because we do have such an inclusive group. So if there's a question that you maybe have, like, something about tax numbers or something. I'm not an accountant. I am not a lawyer, but I can certainly look up information. I can give it to you, and there will be a presentation going out with this one. But right now I'm focusing on, I'm doing one on setting up a business in Canada, because there is a yeah. But I do have some notes that I'm working on for setting up your author business in Australia and in the States. And I'm looking at Europe as well, because when it comes to certain markets, there's certain things that you have to do that you have to think about. Like, for example, cover art. What works in the US does not work in Europe. There's they have different things that they're looking for when it comes to covers and artwork and that sort of thing. But yes, so that is coming up. I know that I had mentioned it before. I just wanted to give you guys an update to say that I haven't forgotten. I am still working on it. It's just going to take me a bit because it's a lot of information, and I'm trying to make sure that as I go through things, I'm keeping all of my a list of all of my resources so that you guys can access them and go through and look and all that lovely stuff. But anyways, I have talked your ear off enough tonight. I will chat with everybody. And if you got questions, just PM me, and we'll go from there. So have a great night. Thank you, ladies, for coming and being willing to have your blurbs shredded and ripped apart. It's
And born again into something better.
yes.
I've got
Yeah.
5 more if you have time.
Send them over. Literally send them over. I can give you some pointers. Just let me know what your schedule is like, and we can chat. We'll pick a day and chat.
That's all right. I'll just work around you. I
Okay.
don't mind.
Okay.
And if
Awesome.
Katie wants to come too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
More the merrier. More and merrier.
Okay.
Awesome. All right. I will get this up onto the YouTube channel probably tomorrow after work. And I will also get the template that I have created that is based on the 2 courses that I've taken uploaded as well for everybody. And we'll go from there. So have a great night.
Thank you. Good
Thank
night.
you.
You're welcome. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.